Yes, come in.
Tim?
Yeah.
It's Nick Simpson of Ball State.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Can I take a seat?
Yeah, come in.
Awesome, thank you. How are you doing today?
Doing well, doing well.
Doing well? Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to meet me. I know Chris had set up this meeting,
Yeah.
and unfortunately he got sick today.
Oh, okay.
So I want to thank you for letting me come in and give this proposal to you. I know
it's Thursday night, so I don't know. He's a big. I don't know if you know, but he does a lot of. He goes to that Cheers bar and does a lot of karaoke on Thursday nights. So I'm wondering if he's going to be over there.
Yeah, I know.
Have to watch to see what he's doing tonight.
That sounds like Chris, though. That does.
Do you follow him on Twitter?
Not so much, no.
Oh my gosh! I mean, he'll go through every song and tell you every song he's doing, and so you're like here reading this Twitter, going like, oh my gosh, here he's going to what he's going to end with and stuff. So.
Well, no, he's kind of talked to me a little bit about you. He tells me that you graduated from Ball State.
Yes.
Okay.
I graduated in '85. Was blessed to meet my wife here, and we both actually graduated high school in '85. Actually graduated college in '89. Met my wife here, and we're living happily ever after.
Oh, that's awesome. That is great. Yeah, I graduated actually 3 years ago from Ball State. Yeah. So, were you involved in any fraternities or anything at Ball State?
My fraternity's not here anymore, Sigma Pi.
Okay.
And then, of course, I had my son just got here. He's a freshman here, and he just went SAE. So it's kind of weird thinking, okay, the fraternity I really didn't like when I was here, now he's really big into. So it's like, even to write. He invited me to go to their house. I'm like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
But I'll deal with it.
Yeah. So you said you have a son. Do you have any other children?
I have a daughter. She's a sophomore in high school. So we live over in Fishers.
Okay. Well, so that would be what high school?
Fishers High School.
Fishers High School. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know that area.
They have two. Yeah, they have two, and they have the good one, and then they have the bad one, and they have Fishers.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, how long have you been working for the bank?
It's a credit union.
The credit union.
So that's like saying that you're going to Central Michigan instead of don't be hurting me like that.
I apologize.
No, I work. I've been there for 2.5 years, but I've been in the credit union business for about 25 years.
Oh, okay.
So I really have gotten really deep into credit unions. I understand the concepts and all that.
Awesome. And how is it so far?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I mean, and what's really cool is like my son. Left for school, but now he only lives 3 minutes away from where I work at, so it makes it really nice. It's
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
you still kind of feel like you're not too far away.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He needs me usually for money.
Yeah.
He's only 2 or 3 minutes away.
The benefits of a parent. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So how did you get to the position that you're in today?
I've been blessed. The guy that had the job before, he wanted another job that was closer to his house and a lot more money. But he had to go against 47 other different people to do it.
Oh, wow.
But I actually knew the CEO of that company. I said, hey, I'll help you. I know this guy. I know what he wants. I know how for you to interview, and I can get that job for you. He goes, hey, Tim, you give me this job. I'll let you have my job.
Okay.
So I got him that job. He won it. I didn't even fill out an application. I didn't even fill out a resume. I just called and said, hey, I'm interested, and it was mine. And we talked with the CEO, and I talked for 2 hours, and it was mine.
Wow.
Really, when you talk about the LinkedIns and all this connections, this is a perfect example of working through your connections and being able to get a job before anybody else was able to.
Yeah.
A little extra.
I guess it's all about the people you know in this world.
In this situation, it was.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. That's great. That's great. So to kind of go over our agenda today, what I have set going, I want to go over Chris's notes that he gave me from your previous meetings, your likes and dislikes with our partnership currently. Also to find out what are the changes you would like to see within our next proposal, and then also go over our future proposal with you guys. Good. And then, if all goes well, hopefully continue this great partnership that we have with Credit Union and Ball State Athletics. So before I really get going into this, is there anyone else that needs to be in here for a purchasing decision?
The person that, Randy, of course, my CEO, is actually out of the office. He's actually golfing at one of the CDC events today at South Bend. So, but anything that we talk about, I'll go ahead and quickly talk to him. I know his concerns also. So we have talked about it. So I feel pretty comfortable that you and I can go ahead and get this wrapped up.
Okay,
pretty
awesome.
good.
Oh, great. So going into that, I would like to review kind of what Chris had wrote down in his notes. There's kind of three main areas, and stop me at any time if you have more input to say, or if they don't, not what you guys went over. First, he said with the game day sponsorship package for the basketball and football, you're a little bit unsatisfied, specifically with the number of tickets and your on-court presentation and recognition a little bit.
Not as much the first part as much the second part. The tickets, it's okay. We're okay.
Okay.
We use the tickets for some promotional stuff for us and all that. If we can get a couple extra, that's fine. We don't have to have the front row seats like we do for basketball. We can use some of the little bit in the back. I'm fine with that. We have a fight, and again, even you talked earlier. We feel like we're Ball State's credit union. That we're there for them. The problem is that the banks have actually came over and took over a lot of our stuff. Chase, if you go remember the first day of school, you see a lot more Chase tents than you do Ball State Federal Credit Union tents because Ball State has let Chase come in. They've let other banks come in. And that has a lot to do with some politics about all the trustees and blah, blah, blah and all that. Long story short is that our objective is to come back and be Ball State's connection when it comes to financial help, financial solutions. We really need to get our name out there. Now, I understand that there's a cost involved with that, and you and I can negotiate some of that throughout, maybe not as much today, but later on about the cost. But we feel like with the cost that we spent last year, when we walk in, we should see Ball State Federal Credit Union stuff right away. We do see a little bit of that, but we also see some others too. And I know that we're paying just as much as that Merchants is. And again, I don't want to be negative, but again, what we talked about earlier, it's kind of a competition, lifetime competition, banks versus us. And we're thinking, well, if we pay the same as Merchants, why does Merchants have just a little bit? When you walk in, you see Merchants before you really see us. I want to be at least equal, if not more, and we need to do that. We want this to be a win-win. Financially, we pay you, and then you get our stuff out there. Just kind of disappointed just a little bit with that. I want them to say, wow, Ball State Federal Credit Union. There's a reason. We put a lot of our percentage into that contract, that part of the contract. When we see those football games, and I know we do that kickoff during one of the half times and stuff like that, and that's great. But when they walk in, we want to see more of Ball State Federal Credit when they come into that football game or when they go into that basketball. And I understand we might pay a little bit more for that, but I want to be able to equal everything out. And that's why when you look at it, you sit down and you think, so I don't want to be, I hate to even use the word disappointed, but not satisfied is probably a good word.
Yeah, exactly. So you're saying for what you guys put into with the cost, you should see more recognition and more involvement as well.
Yeah, and that's what we're really looking into going into next year.
Yeah, okay, and that's completely understandable. One positive thing that's on here that he noted that you really like was the signage on the new LED banners, specifically in Worthen Arena. And those LED, we just had those, the floor ones put in 2 years ago, and they are our main attraction.
It is.
So I can understand why you like them so much.
We do like them. Again, they're on one side, so you still have to, which is good because, again, even and I know you're new to this, I'll explain a little bit. When you talk about who our audience is our audience the students or the faculty / parents / adults? And it's a hard call because we are probably, and you need to know this, we're about 70-30. When you look, I would 70% want the parents and the faculty and the maintenance and those connections to Ball State versus the students right now. We still want the students, but where we put our money at, because the faculty is the ones that's giving the car loans, we're doing the mortgages with, we're doing the CDs with, where the students you're just starting up, and we're hoping we're getting as many students as possible, but our money makers are the faculty, the parents, and the adults. So one of the things is we want the LEDs to make sure it's showing those guys and not on the student side, and especially if we do something like that with the football stadium too. You know, it's kind of weird, and it's like, okay, you know, is that fair or not? But when you look at the bottom line dollar, who's making our money? We want the people that's making our money seeing it. So yes, we love the LED. It's great. Unfortunately, it's being shown to what we feel like might not be the best audience for us.
Okay.
So even if we could do it on both sides or somehow split it up or something like that.
Okay.
Which correlates with what we talked about earlier.
Yeah. And then finally, well, I kind of want to go into a little bit more about that. I know that you like it. What impact has it had on your business with the LED banners? I mean,
we'll go and we'll see a couple of our members come over to me because my office is like literally right there. My boss and everybody, all the other management's over kind of hidden. That's for security reasons we can talk about another time. but with me, I'm right there, so I kind of hear some members coming in. The biggest thing we talked about a couple minutes ago is that when they walk in, they want to see that. I want them to see that Ball State Federal Credit Union. Yeah. Those LED lights do that.
Yeah.
And then they go straight to another competition. And I understand that we cannot have. And you might talk to Chris. How much would it cost to have a no compete LED thing? Okay, because. And I understand that you do it by game and all that, but there's sometimes, especially if it's Merchants Night, Merchants is going to be there 5 times more than ours. So we do love the LED lights, but we're having a competition with Merchants, and I forget who the other one is, all national. I hate them. Okay, don't get me started on that. But so, can you at least see how much it would cost to do a no compete, being that we're the only financial institution on the LEDs? Okay, well, I understand now we're talking big bucks.
Yeah.
I really think that maybe my board would approve that.
Okay.
So at least throw me a number.
I will have to go back and check on the number with that.
Okay.
But and see if we can do that, because I know right now with our LED, our banners, they go every 30 seconds with our different sponsors. Right. So I would have to definitely check that. And next time I would have a number for you and have an answer for you. Okay. So also going into your seasonal tickets and parking, Chris wrote down that you wanted to continue to receive the 4 season tickets along with the parking passes along for the football and basketball.
Yeah, and which would be great. Yeah, okay. We really love both. We use it for a lot of different reasons, and we love it.
Yeah. What are some reasons? What are you using them for?
Well, let's just go with the football season. Usually we will go, and of the 8 games that we have, we'll give them to the board so we can have a little bit more communication with our board of directors. Our board of directors, unlike a bank, these guys are volunteers. These are guys that are usually, if they're not a prof right now, they're retired. And then they want to still contribute to Ball State, and this is their way to contribute, but they don't get paid nothing. Yeah. This is a way to give them some little love.
Exactly.
There are times where we will go with maybe somebody that we want to work with a vendor-wise, where even though they are a vendor to us, we want to sit down with them and get away from the building and talk to them, and we can go and sit down with them. I have indirect lending, which is with the car dealerships. There's sometimes we want to schmooze the car dealerships to give us more deals, and that's a whole different talk. We could talk about a whole hour just on that. But we'll go and schmooze with them with that. Same thing with some other companies that we work with to try, because and there's times where, as you also know, well, you probably don't know, I don't know if Chris has told you, but I'm also the president of the Miller College Business Alumni Society. Oh, okay. And there's been times where I've been able to go ahead and do that. Now, you're thinking, okay, isn't that a conflict of interest? Not really, because the thought is if I can go ahead and be active in this society, I will be able to get more members through there, make him more members, make him a couple more loans. So it is a win-win-win. Yeah, definitely. So and that's another reason we can go out and do that. And sometimes we just do it just as a celebration for an employee that does a very good job. Say, here, here's a couple tickets. Exactly. Go and enjoy that with your family.
You got to keep your employees happy.
Yes, because they have to deal with me.
So what are your thoughts about if we increase the number of sporting events along with the season tickets?
We understand that we're talking about maybe a 10 or 20% increase. We understand that we've actually budgeted for next year for that.
Okay.
But we've got to have it as a win-win.
Mm-hmm.
We got, and again, I know the no compete thing's getting out of hand. I understand that. That'd be really expensive. But if we're putting more money than First Merchants, then I feel like we should be seen more, and then we have a little bit more control of which side of the LED lights that we're at. And that even position, because I can't remember, you didn't tell me when you were here at Ball State, what was your major?
I was a sales major.
Sales. So you totally understand it's positioning.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about that already. We've got to position these.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to position these because I want the people who are making me the most money to be able to see that and think Ball State Federal Credit Union when they see it and then when they leave.
Yeah.
It's got to be there. It's got to be a win-win. We are putting in a lot of money, and I know Chris has told you, and you've seen these contracts. We're talking about a ton of money.
Yeah.
A ton of money of a company that doesn't make profit. They put all the money back into the membership, but we're allowing this budget of money to go this hoping. And again, we understand we're doing this somewhat as a small donation to Ball State, but we're also doing hoping that we get volume, more members, more loans, and more CD and deposit growth.
Yeah, definitely. So kind of to sum all this up, definitely you want an increase in recognition for the cost that you guys are willing to put out there. You should receive more recognition.
Right.
Also, you want to do a 70-30 where the parents are the focal point, but you want to keep those Ball State students there and involved. And that goes with the signage as well, with the banners in Worthen. You wanted to put more of a focal point on that 70% area with the parents and the faculty to keep them more involved and not put it so much to the students.
Yes.
And then also with the season tickets, I know it's important for you guys to get those that you can give them to your board and your vendors and your employees too.
You know what, I know I got this little iPad and I'm not an old man trying to go. Can you go ahead, when you leave, and go ahead and email me an update of what we talked about? Because I'm running out. I'd rather talk than type because I'm a slow typer. But if you could email me just what you just got done saying to me, and then I can go ahead and talk to my CEO, and then we can talk to Chris, and then we can go ahead and get going on that.
Well, what I would love to jump into is our proposal that we have for you right now. Actually, jumping into it, this is just our first page where it goes over the benefits that you guys had with partnering with us, and
will I be able to make a copy of this, or is this mine?
This is yours.
Oh, nice. Well, then you won't have to do that. If we can go ahead. Well, still go ahead.
Yeah, I will still go ahead. So that's the first page. And then we go into the game day sponsorships with men basketball. I know that you said you were okay with the tickets, but I believe that you guys had 30 tickets last year, so we're actually increasing that number to 40 for you guys.
Good.
Then you also get the use of the recruiting room with food and drinks provided. That's the same as the last proposal. The on-court presentation, radio recognition, you said that you really wanted to increase that recognition, and we really want to get you guys involved this year. And with that, that includes, our timeout, fun presentation with the students, our halftime, fun series with the students. We really want to incorporate you guys maybe coming down and being part of that as well. And would you like that?
Yes.
Okay. And then also you would get the logo on the cover of the game day program, just as usual. And then you would be a main sponsor for one of the basketball home games.
Great.
So that's usual. So does that sound really good?
Yeah, I'm loving that. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, and then you see that with that recognition, you're getting more with the students and even the faculty and parents being there too, that you're more involved.
Good.
And so definitely will help. And then this will go into the football game day program. You'll still get that half page full color in the program. And this program goes out for the 2013 season. There's going to be 30,000 programs. So, and then definitely with that recognition too during the halftime, as you said, the kickoff how we sponsored that. That'll still be included. And then, you know, we just really want to get you guys involved and get that recognition out there for you guys.
One other thing we need to talk about with football is, you know, I feel pretty much that we're going to go to another bowl game this year.
Yeah.
Knowing that last time we actually had to jump and do some stuff really, really quick, and this time maybe we can start talking a little bit about it before even the season starts. Say, okay, if there is a bowl game, then let's go ahead and work on this.
Yeah.
And do something specifically for that, because we understand that a lot more people will be listening to that bowl game than they will the first game of the season or second game of the season.
I get where you're coming from with that. Yeah.
We want to make sure we get first dibs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
understand that.
I'm gonna write that down. Bowl game sponsorship, first dibs on that. So I can tell Chris and we can kind of go over that again.
Good.
So that's with the football. Going into the Worthen Arena signage. You know, we talked about the new LEDs and how you would receive 1 minute of game clock in each half plus bonus time if they go into overtime or anything like that. As you can see right here, the signage is really pointed to our faculty and excuse me, parents. The signage is actually on the side courts, and this is the student section right in here.
True.
So, I mean, with your recognition, you said you wanted to do that 70-30 with the parents and students.
Yes.
That's actually targeting your faculty and parents.
Good point.
So, I know you're going to, you know, that definitely is an interest to you, and you really like that.
Yeah.
So that's what we can do for you. I'm going to check about that no compete and the cost on that. Don't know if that's going to be a go, but I can definitely check for you. I can definitely check for you. And then also up here with our signage too, these run every 30 seconds. Okay. So you're also getting that signage, you know, provided to everyone as well. So that's with that. And then the tickets and parking, we talked about how you wanted to continue to receive the 4-season tickets with the football and the basketball. But we're not just going to give you that. We wanted to include women's basketball and then women's volleyball as well.
Excellent.
How do you like that?
Yeah, that's great, especially as great as the women are going to probably do next year. They play really well, so you've got a lot more interest with that. So
yeah, definitely. And good for the basketball and women's volleyball, we're always there at the top every single year. So and it's always fun to go do a volleyball match, you know. So that's where we're at with the tickets and parking, and then also the radio coverage. I know you guys have been satisfied, I hope, with the radio coverage. We're getting WLBC and then WERK Oldies 104.9. And that coverage is a 20-mile radius. So, I mean, you're hitting a little bit on the Indianapolis area as well of, you know, Anderson and all that. So
yeah, because we have a lot right here in this area right here. We have a lot of alumni. So every time they talk with us, it helps us a whole lot. So.
Definitely. So with that, here's our arrangement of the 20,000, and that is for the next season. You know, I would love to get you to sign on this right now, if you would be willing to. But also, I know that you wanted to talk about that no compete.
Yeah, and of course, this is something, even though we budgeted for it, we still have to go through our board. Again, my CEO is not here today anyway, but I'll be showing this to him probably tomorrow while you're doing the no compete thing. And again, that's on the side. It's just gravy. Yeah, pretty much. But we'll work on this. Our next board meeting's late next week. Okay. So we're hoping that maybe by it's probably maybe the 10th of May that we should have an answer. All right. If we could put that down and put that on your email too. Okay.
So would you like to meet around that time then?
That would be great.
Okay.
Let me see if I'm available that day.
And then I would love to definitely get Chris back in here. I know he wants to be a big part of you guys are friends. So get him in here.
It's going to make you go to a WWE thing. Can watch out. Have you went with him to that?
No, I haven't.
He's been to 102 events. 10 o'clock, okay? 10 on the 10th?
10 on the 10th. That works for me.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Okay, and then I'll take this back and revise the proposal and then check up on that no compete and the price on that.
Okay.
Sounds good?
All right, make it on the 10th. Okay.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me today again. And this is yours. So you can
thank you very much.
Alright.
All right.
Tim, it was a pleasure meeting with you.
Nice meeting you again.
Hey, take it easy.
All right. Yeah, tell Chrissy I said hey.